This country is founded by people who were in the aliens, man. George Washington, man, he was in a cult. And the cult was in the aliens, man. You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, man, they were way into that type of stuff, man.
Benny!
You're getting air from there, man. It's no good.
It was the last day of school.
Miss Crawford, I was thinking that maybe you and I can get together over the summer. I mean, it'll be legal. I mean, we can make...
It was the first day of summer vacation.
You guys know anything about a party here tonight?
No, sir.
It was a time they will never forget.
There's a new fiesta in the making as we speak.
I thought he was cute.
Oh, that's this.
You thought he was cute?
Then. Do you realize when he graduated, we were like 3 years old?
If only they could remember it.
Okay.
So you're not going to go to law school? What do you want to do then? I want to dance.
You gonna be quarterback next year?
I don't know. I might not even play.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man.
Super dominant male in a 50s greaser uniform.
That's what I love about these high school girls, man. I get older, they stay the same age.
The 50s were boring. The 60s rocked. The 70s, oh my God, they obviously suck.
Dazed and confused. See it with a bud.
Behind every good man, there's a woman. And that woman was Martha Washington, man. And every day George would come home, she'd have a big fat bowl waiting for him, man, when he'd come in the door, man. She was a hip lady, man.
All right. I only came here to do two things. Talk about another movie from 1993 and drink some beer. Yes, I have a beer in my hand and I don't even like beer. All I'm saying is I want to look back and say I did the best I could when I was talking about this movie. Had as much fun as I could when I was talking about this movie. Played as hard as I could while I was talking about this movie. Got as many girls as I could to listen to this podcast while I'm here stuck talking about Richard Linklater's classic Dazed and Confused. And while you're cruising around in your car listening to this, fear not, I am not here talking about it alone. No, I'm here with the usual ruffians. First up is a man who I saw get older as the high school girls stayed the same age. Mr. David Corasetto. Hey, Dave, you got a joint?
I don't, but it'd be better if I did, Mike. I'm not gonna lie.
The beer.
But I said regular beer.
You can walk.
You couldn't play the straight man on that one?
Couldn't just say no so I could answer it. You know what, Dave?
Not
let's try
on
that
me.
again. Let's try that
No,
again.
not on me.
David, you got a joint?
I don't, Mikey.
Be a lot cooler if you did. Boom.
Mike, you never smoked one joint in your life. I tried to put you. I tried putting a gum.
Wait, we're gonna get to that in a minute.
Have you?
Get to that,
we're trying to do my introduction. Will you go back to watching whatever it is you're watching? How are you doing and what are you drinking, asshole?
I'm just drinking beer and I'm getting a massage right now. So good. Keep going.
What? Stop. What do you mean you're getting a massage?
chair.
Oh, okay. You're sitting there.
Yeah,
I wish you were at the mall doing that.
Very different thing.
Next up is a man who's got to do what he wants to do. He knows the older he gets, the more rules they're gonna try to get him to follow. He's just got to keep on living, man. Livin, Mr. Christopher Morris. How are you doing? And what are you drinking tonight?
Doing well, Michael. Very excited. I am drinking. Didn't really have something applicable. I'm drinking an IPA, Juicy Bits, which I think is a repeat drink, but just like those freshman. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that was actually the repeat joke too.
No, I know
Bits.
it was similar. We don't need to point out my repeat jokes.
No, please.
But I'm very excited.
I've made my life on 6 jokes.
Very excited about this movie, as are many of our fans.
Yes. Dazed and Confused from 1993, written and directed by Richard Linklater, starring, I took down the people that felt like major characters and not so major characters. So I'm just going to buzz through them. Jason London, Wiley Wiggins, Rory Cochrane, Joey Lauren Adams, Parker Posey, Sasha Jensen, Adam Goldberg, Anthony Rapp, Cole Hauser. We also saw Mila Jovovich and Renee Zellweger were in there for a moment. Renee didn't say a word, but Mila sang a little bit. Plus, of course, Ben Affleck, and of course, in a star-making role, Matthew McConaughey.
Certainly was a star-making role as they increased his role, as we saw.
Yeah.
What were you saying,
He
Dave?
was literally, he stole the movie. 100%.
You had this
He
tiny
did.
bit role that they just kept increasing.
Yeah, he was supposed to have 2 scenes, and then Pickett and Mila Jovovich was supposed to have a lot more of a role, and they kind of just moved
Cut.
Wooderson into that role. It just because he stole the show, as Dave said.
Stole the show. They saw what they
so
had.
Good, so quotable.
Did you know guys like that in high school that just hung around after graduating?
Well, I have
really.
A lot of people don't. So in Methuen, we kind of had Bubba Wayno. I'm sure Brian. So Brian, as I've often mentioned, was going to maybe be on this pod. Big fan of this movie. Had a lot of input. Greg recommended this movie. Former guest Greg Morris recommended this movie. He couldn't make it either.
He's running, probably.
Greg's probably running, yes. But there are a lot of, and I part of this movie, I think, is not just people from the 70s. Obviously, it comes out in the 90s. People from the, my generation has so much nostalgia and so many familiar things, even though it's, so the movie's basically the tail end of Baby Boomer, but it's really, a Gen X movie, but it's also like you said, Dave, so many different generations actually take from this movie. You know what I mean? Like they are nostalgic about this.
And even
except
if you're,
I'm sorry.
Say, even if you're from a different generation. Oh, go Dave.
Oh, go ahead.
I would say, even if the idea of that innocent, where like the time in your life where there are no real responsibilities.
Yeah, there's no big
none.
Yep.
Right. There's no big stakes like a normal
Really,
movie,
no.
right?
Yep.
There's no huge stakes in the movie. I mean, and as you mentioned, there's no real plot, as Dave and I were talking about. But one thing that struck me recently is for a movie with no plot, it's just perfectly laid out. It's structured perfectly somehow, right? This 15-hour day that introduces the characters, and it's perfect. It's laid out perfectly.
It's perfect. It's perfect in the sense that if you lived high school life, and you really lived high school life, this whole movie was just about having fun.
Yep.
That's all it was. Have fun, right? No responsibilities.
The big plans
you're
are
just doing your thing.
Getting in the car. You get in the car and just drive.
Yeah,
exactly. And so Linklater didn't want to make like an American Graffiti, a movie about the 50s. Well, his thing was he didn't want to make like the stakes. The end of American Graffiti showed what happened to them, and there was, some of them died, and Linklater didn't want to make like huge stakes. He just wanted to do like a nostalgia movie, just like time, a period piece,
right?
But that was so applicable to high school students. So I noticed how different. Yeah, I agree. It transcends the specific years and generation. But as far as the it struck me how different it was with the different, cliques and the different groups, the jocks and the stoners and the nerds. Something like the Breakfast Club, like those lines were like drawn where those people wouldn't hang out with each other. But this was more like real life. You knew people like Randall. He hung out with different groups, and you knew, I knew people like that.
Yep.
Yeah, and then and people like Dawson. Dawson reminded me of so many people. Just entertaining, kind of a nice guy, but and then does some horrible things or says some horrible things, and hangs out with everybody too. How many different cars did he get into? He drove with 6 different people,
jumping from car to car. So as much as we,
I remember.
Now you're shit.
I remember nights where, the parties that we used to go to, just toss table, getting the big, having good parties.
It's not me, right, Mike?
No, it's the best. No, it's. Say that again, Dave.
Mikey never went.
I did. I never. Yeah, I can. You said something about parties, but I don't remember any parties. Dickhead.
Because you never went. I never brought you.
You don't say I never went.
You're younger than me.
Big deal. I'm a foot taller than you. Never. What age was an issue? Age wasn't an issue with those girls, buddy.
I remember with me, Jimmy Fleming, and like 3 of my other friends.
Jimmy Fleming. Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Jimmy. If you're listening, his brother Kevin. I worked with.
Trying to go into the Frosty Mug and then getting chased out. And I remember everyone running into my father's 442. It was 1974 442 that I later totaled.
I was in the car for that.
Driving down Lawrence, halfway out of the car, just laughing our asses off. That's what high school was about. It really was. So that line at the end.
David did this stuff in high school?
I did that stuff in high school. It was fun.
You drank in high school?
What a blast. Yeah.
Never in front of me. Apparently, I was the nerd. I see he floated between the groups. Oh no, it's all coming back
here. I drank beer and spilled it on your ass.
That's true. Okay, yeah, but you did that. You did that in Chris's childhood house. Oh, it's all coming together.
This is true. I won't bring up the enema.
Dave, your connection sucks.
Why is this? Okay, I thought it was me, so I'm glad it's not my internet.
Dave.
So.
Sorry.
So I didn't. I was a late. I was hung out with. I was the nerd crew until like later in high school. I didn't hang out with my friends. I later hung out with until like senior year. So I didn't really. I was like, I was like Dawson. Oh no, Dawson was much cooler. Besides those dungaree overalls.
Yeah, he made it work.
Oh yeah, so I love the. Obviously the style and we'll get into the music, and I wish I was more of a car guy, but the cars in this movie
you can't
are
help
great.
but appreciate those cars anyway, because
I did research, of course.
Dave's dad's car that we totaled back in 1991, maybe 91, totaled it. No seatbelts. It was pre-seatbelt time, and what Dave was good at, he's very polite and he likes to look people in the eye. So you're driving along, he's driving, you make a joke, he likes to turn and say, ha ha ha, that's very funny. And then totally turn onto Timberlane, T-bone a car. And my head went boom up against the glass, and that was goodbye to the 442.
There's going to be a lot of references to high school, right? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Or right after high school and similar.
The funny thing about that story, though, is when I looked under the hood, first of all, the lady that I rammed into, her airbag went up and she looked like she was dead. And then I looked under the car, my father's car, and the engine was on the ground. As soon as I saw the engine on the ground, I started screaming that my neck was hurt. And they put me on a flatbed stretcher and put me in the
They put you on a flatbed?
Put him on a stretcher.
Was this senior
brace?
Was this senior year?
This was
my sophomore year.
Yeah, it was his sister just graduated junior high, and after my freshman year.
All we used to do, like I used to get that car, and I would pull out of Central Catholic parking lot and literally bake the tires in front of every single brother. And Mikey, you were in the car all the time.
I asked you to do it. That's how we got pulled over. I mean, it was, yeah.
It was the best. All we do was cruise.
I want to go
I
through
was,
a couple
I was,
things.
I was the guy that hung out with everyone too. I hung out with the jocks and the nerds and the stoners. Oh my God!
Yeah.
There's so many people that did. There was so many people in Central California that did high-end drugs. Most of them are doing high because
My
they could
goodness.
afford this.
I didn't see
Yeah.
this at all. David,
Doesn't sound
he,
like the Methuen High I know.
David
You know-
shielded me from all this, or I just was a nerd and he didn't include me.
Well, that's one question. So people obviously praise this movie, seeing it besides, the greatness of the movie, enjoying it while stoned.
Ugh.
Mikey, have you ever watched this movie high?
Christopher, I'll tell you right now, I've never
Have you
done
watched
anything.
any movie high?
I've never watched any
Okay.
movie or television show, read a book or anything.
I recommend it. Just once
Unless
at
you're
least.
talking
Not that I
about,
did.
Long Island iced teas or drinks. But
We always
That's
had
fun
like-
too.
in the
That's fun,
words
too.
of what the hell's his name? Am I cool? I'm not cool.
Oh,
You're not cool.
wait, Slater?
Slater, yes.
Because they got beat up at
So-
the end.
No, Slater.
No,
look at the blood
that's
stains.
Mike.
Yeah.
So Slate is the stoner. Slate is the
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
the
yeah.
big time stoner.
Yeah.
So it's funny because as someone who was obsessed with music in the 70s at this time in the late 80s and 90s, I mentioned before how I was obsessed with Led Zeppelin but it's just funny. That's
See, I think around
the
that
title
time,
of this movie.
yeah.
What's that?
You guys were also throwing all that music at my way too. So I was discovering so much of it around 91, 92, 93. Yeah.
The music in this movie too, Linklater was very, he wanted to be very accurate. So everything couldn't, something couldn't have come out 6 months later. Everything was 70, 78. Was it 78?
76.
76. I meant.
Yeah.
So it was perfect. So
That
shall we get
opening
into it?
scene- Yeah, that opening.
Well,
scene-
I got a few other things to say.
Okay.
It was a budget
score,
of
right.
$6.9 million. It is not anyway. It made less than $8 million at the box office. I watched the documentary about it, and the producers said, the studio just didn't get behind it. They didn't do a wide release. But it's one of these movies that just kind of came and went, and then really found its life in home videos. And I saw an article from NME.com that said the DVD sales are reported to have topped 30 million for just
Wow.
the DVD. So it made,
believe it.
it made all its money in home video. Plus, I mean, it was around for VHS for years too, way before DVD. It was released September 23rd, 24th, 1993. And I know that I didn't see it in the theater. I know I wasn't there because
I did not either.
I was busy meeting my wife that day
I
because she
saw
was at
that
my
movie
house.
first time
You went
with
to
my
go see
brother.
About a Girl?
I went to go see it. Well, Dave brought that girl to my house, and there you go. That was on that day.
Yeah, but I
Wow,
remember
that's-
watching that movie with your brother in your house.
Now, see, I can remember probably doing that. Yeah, but I did
Yeah.
not see it. Or it makes me think of the basement of Cox Lane.
Yeah.
We watched it at Cox Lane a
Yeah.
bunch. I was watching it frequently when I was home.
Stoned.
And
Sometimes.
I'd be home watching it when you'd get home.
All right, let's
Yes.
In the basement.
get it. Scene.
All right.
Let's.
Great car.
Like
great song.
The opening scene you mentioned is admittedly great because I've been very down on Aerosmith ever since. But it's a great song, perfect opening.
It's perfect slow
You just
motion.
hear the music,
I think most of the
sweet emotion.
budget is easily the soundtrack. I mean,
Yeah,
they
they said.
actors
I don't
much.
know if it's most of it. It's a good chunk. It was surprising. I was surprised it wasn't even more, believe it or not. But yeah,
Oh, and
that was a.
I also
Uh,
forgot to mention that Richard Linklater, one of his original cuts was 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Holy
So there's
shit.
another hour of a movie out there. Like there was a whole scene, I guess, where they showed them steal the statues that they painted Kiss on. So that played a little more of a part, but they just
That's
kept having
funny.
to cut things and cut things.
That was a 1970 Pontiac GTO that Pickford is driving
Unbelievable.
with Mila. So yeah, you see perfect opening. high school parking lot, dazed and confused. Credits already. She's rolling a doobie.
She is
We
so
see
hot.
seniors.
David Hot Alert. Repeat. This is a David Hot Alert. This is not a test.
Get ready. Get ready. That alert's gonna blow the
The hottest girl, by far the hottest girl in the movie.
I think she was 16.
Well, I'm sorry, but she's.
No, I'm just kidding. She was 18. She was 18.
All
Okay,
right.
Perfect.
And playing and filling into the Wooderson role smoothly, Dave Cossetto. So you see Slater with his backwards scally, Dawson with his overalls, Paca Posey, Cole Hauser in the workshop. And then you see Adam Goldberger's new house. I guess his name is Mike, and Pony and
The
Cynthia
man who
is the
took down
redhead.
Kevin
Who's-
Spacey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tony Olson, right? Oh.
Anthony Rapp.
And then you see Jason London, the other brother from this Party of Five. His brother played in. So
Yeah,
Randall
this was
Pink
the
Floyd.
brother that I think is less messed up than the other brother.
Yes, that's correct.
get it
That is
too.
accurate.
Yeah.
So, and then Joey, what's her name? Joey Lauren.
Joey Lauren Adams. I think of
Adams
Kevin
is
Smith
Simone.
movies.
We see Pickford supposed to host a kegger, written and directed by Richard Linklater. So May 28th, 1976, last day of school.
I love that it just kind
So-
of just those lines alone, it just sets up everything. Really. It's
Exactly.
like-
And it's a just insignificant day. Well, it's the
Yeah,
last
just
day
a
of school,
slice of
but,
life, like, you know.
insignificant. I love how they're like juniors going, it's like they're going to be
yeah,
seniors.
like that
You know
was
what I mean? It's-
another thing that Linklater said in the documentary, like it made the stakes even less. It wasn't like, oh no, now
Right.
they're going off to do the life. No, they have another year of high school to enjoy.
Exactly. So, let's see. You see Randall tells Simone he'll meet her at the party. Gonna be hung up with the guys. Slater, we see Slater has some business later. So you get Pickford with Mila Jovovich, who I guess they got married in real life. I assume Mikey
Oh,
had
really?
that fact.
I did not
And
know.
then
I mean, I know
the
she
mother-
ended up marrying.
They got it annulled.
Okay, because she was married, or she is married to the guy who directs all those Resident Evil movies, like Paul W. Anderson
Yeah.
or something like that.
Well, she was into most of them, wasn't she?
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So, and then you see Pickford. He calls Newhouse and Olson, Woodward and Bernstein. So Randall tells him he smoked his lunch when he asks him, "You drink it or smoke?"
But you notice, like, he's is that when he's talking about hey, are we going to
Play poker.
play poker? And you think, oh, he hangs out with
Yeah,
these
yeah.
guys too.
Exactly. They ask him if he wants to play poker. He says, "I'm going to a party."
Well-
Invites them. They said they're going to go too. Just like you said, Randall glides between the different groups. So they decide to go to the party. Tony tells him about his dream. He's getting it on with the perfect female body with the head of Abe Lincoln. They're kind of like the nerd crew. Again, it goes all over the
They're
place.
like the
but
comic relief, right?
They're
Sort of.
like they are, but they're also like the. Well, I guess I was going to say they're like the avatar for the audience, but I mean, that's
They're probably more
kind
like
of
the-
a few different
they're prob-
characters.
Well, they're probably like more like the general population of high school. I would
Yeah.
assume, right?
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
So, and then the girls listing awful Gilligan's Island episodes. This is something you would see too, definitely, right?
Well, talking about how
Dust
the male fantasy of being stuck. on
that
an
comes
island,
up.
yeah.
That comes up when they go to the
Oh,
bathroom.
that's right. That's later. Right. Shit. Yep.
Yeah. Dawson gives Randall the contract to sign, saying he won't do drugs and alcohol.
And there's the plot of the
And,
movie right there. That's kind
yeah.
of the
Exactly. That's as close to a
It's-
plot as you have.
Yep.
So Dawson's like, he's like, we're gonna all sign it even if we don't follow through. And then he's like, you're gonna make a big deal of it, aren't you? So, but yeah, you're like, that's the stakes. That's the that's the plot. So you see Slater showing the kid how to make a bong.
And I love the woodshop teacher that they don't give a
Sleeping.
shit. That's like the last day
Yeah.
he's sleeping. They're making the paddles. They're making the
Benny
bongs.
is making the paddle. Cole Hauser is
One of the,
pretty much a
and that's the only difference, I guess, what does not transcend. You cannot do half
The
stuff.
hazing that they did then. Yeah.
well. There's a lot of stuff that, of course, there's a lot of stuff you couldn't do later. I mean, they drink beers nonstop, which we did.
Dude,
Like
plus
you're
they're
just sitting
18
in
was the
18 was
You're,
drinking.
you're in the parking lot of a junior high drinking beers. You know what? I'm waiting for the so. But yeah, so this is when, right? Benny is making a paddle, and Mike and the nerds, quote unquote, are looking at the contract with Randall. They're like, "This is crazy," you know. The girls are in the bathroom debating about Gilligan's Island, like you said, men's fantasy, except the professor. And so Benny's all excited, but Benny's kind of an asshole, huh?
Yeah, Benny's a dick.
Second, he's besides O'Banion. Well, nobody likes O'Banion, but people like Benny. But just kind of a dick.
He's not as
you knew people like Benny, obviously.
Benny
Yes.
would not glide between the population.
No, he's right, which is people, you knew people like that exactly. So and then this is when Jody, I don't even know who the actress is in real life. She didn't do much after. She's great though, right? She asked them to take it easy on her brother Mitch,
which is the worst fucking thing you could say.
Yeah. So that's why they're like, we're not going to take it easy, right? No, that's major bullshit. That was bullshit you were saying, all right? Yeah, he's a fucking dead man. Cole Hauser is great as a maniac until we see O'Banion.
He looks like a typical junior in high school.
He does. Benny drives his truck to the junior high. He makes his announcement. It's great. The teacher's laughing.
Okay, all you freshman fucks, listen up. It's your lucky day. Usually you'd be spending your freshman summer to get your asses busted and running for your worthless little lives. But this year, because we feel so sorry for you, we're gonna take it easy on you and save us all a lot of time. So if you meet here, right here, after school today, you only get one lick from each of us. But you run like cowards, well, it's open season all summer long, boys. Oh yeah, Mitch Kramer. Mitchie. We're looking for you, pal. Your ass will be perfect for the day is over. Have a nice afternoon.
Yeah, the teacher in this class was great.
He's awesome.
He's
awesome.
He had a couple lines, but he was, he's into it. Like it's tradition. He just kind of chuckles and.
Yep.
That's it.
So Mitch's buddy says he should spend the summer at his grandparents, and they're like, "You got to show up to the game tonight." "Yeah, I'm pitching. I have to go to the game." He's like, "Why are they after me?" He doesn't know. So the kid's like, this kid's very awkward. He's not like a great actor. My buddy was.
He's barely an actor.
But he's not a good actor at all.
No, but I think.
But it kind of works because he's awkward.
Right. Like they saw him in a restaurant or something and said, "Do you want to like?"
He looks like the role he's playing. And
the kind of, not his counterpart directly, but kind of the freshman girl that we see later.
Oh, Jody. I mean,
Sabrina.
Sabrina. Yep,
Yeah.
Sabrina.
She's another one who wasn't like, they were just high school kids in Austin, Texas, he was saying. And he kind of brought them in. He was like, I hope I don't kind of, mess with
he was a terrible baseball player.
Yeah.
But
he couldn't throw.
But the awkwardness definitely works for him. So
yeah.
Then you see Melvin Spivey jumps in the truck with him. His character's great. The coaches greet them. He's like, "Any of you girls going to be ready to play football?" And then the head coach, who seems like a dick, obviously, pipes up. He said, "That Floyd is in serious need of an attitude adjustment. I want that form signed before the end of the day."
Yeah. This was how the wrestling coaches used to yell at
Larry
Dave.
Clemens. Yep.
This coach is worst.
So he's like, "I notice you run with a bad crowd." Also part of the plot. So Randall throws out the paper. This is when we see O'Banion pull up. Dude, Affleck's awesome in this, right?
He's so good at this.
Like he said,
Every
he's like, "I
moment.
have to play an asshole." Everybody hates this character. In a 73 Plymouth Duster.
Oh, Joe Banion flunked?
Yeah, what a dumb shit.
Y'all ready to bust some ass? What's up, Don? Hey, Benny? Melvin? Good to see you.
See you okay. Yeah.
Hey, we gotta take your truck. I'm low on gas. All right? You can take my truck.
He really is. He comes out with this paddle that has FAHQ on it. Fuck you. So, we got to take your truck. He's all excited. Randall and Dawson talking. That Randall's sick of the coaches.
But I love that Affleck.
He's kind of down on it.
Affleck, they're like
he
almost like
stayed
he
back on
wanted to stay
purpose,
back so he
they
could
said,
do this
yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a kid in your grade that stayed back for football?
Yeah, not. There was the coach's
You're
son.
talking about
He was
me?
Pat Keogh, right?
Well, Pat Keogh did.
Yeah.
Who is probably not listening to this pod. Yeah. Pat Keogh did. Yeah. I mean, not surprising at all. Pat Keogh would definitely be a character in this movie. Just a monster.
I had a guy that I went to school
he's-
with who I think had his learner's permit when we graduated 8th grade. Not quite the same thing, but it was pretty close.
Well, the kid.
God rest his soul.
We'll see a character who has his brother's car from junior high, which is great, right? So we get Randall asked Dawson if he ever thought while we play football to get laid, we could probably do just as well in a band. So
he's not into
Dawson drops. Yeah, he's straight. You could tell he's not. He's no Tom
Texas
Brady.
high school football. It's big deal.
Exactly. So he drops Randall off at class. Teacher tells Dawson to beat it. He hits on her. That was funny. She pats his head.
She was pretty hot too. That's not lie.
David Hot Alert. Repeat. This is a David Hot Alert. This is not a test.
She was.
It's a simpler time. She Linkletter, that first movie Beyond Sunset or Before
one of
Sunset.
Those. Yeah.
She co-wrote that with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Did not know that.
I was looking up a few of these people thinking, oh, this person was this person was married.
A lot of them didn't age very well either. I looked them up too.
Yeah. Didn't go into a lot of things. Well, there's a lot of a lot of unknowns. I don't even think we mentioned that,
Yeah.
We just went with an unknown cast. So back in junior high, Mitch and his buddies talking about the party, the blonde kids, this girl gonna be a girl with huge knockers. And the one kid has his brother's car. So Mitch asked the teacher if they could leave early, just to be safe. The teacher's
just laughs
obviously
at
a Vietnam vet.
Yeah.
He's like, 50 you will leave and only 25 will make it.
He's it's so enjoying himself.
Yes. So back to high school, that teacher we just met was mentioning about the bicentennial. Remember, the reason is a bunch of aristocratic slave owners didn't want to pay their taxes. So then we get perfect song for this. Obviously, a very obvious and perfect song is with the Alice Cooper.
Great and underrated Alice.
School's out. Yeah, so maybe they're emptying the lockers.
Definitely.
A lot of pop culture references. So same thing at the middle school for the junior high. So the high schoolers are patrolling with their paddles. Can you imagine that today? You see the kids driving around with beers in the back, picking the kids up at middle school.
Like paintball guns or something.
What's going on over there? So they Mitch and his crew jump in the kid's car. They're chased by Benny's truck with a Banyan.
The amount of car chasing and racing without seatbelts, that reminded me of Dave with the 442, that kind of shit.
That car would invoke people to try to race me all the time. I couldn't not, why? I had to do it.
Dave with his drag racing tales.
And I beat most of them, to be honest with you. That fucking car was so fast. Go ahead.
Set him up, they put him down.
God rest his soul. It had one.
It wasn't the same. His dad replaced it with an IROC Z. It wasn't the same.
It wasn't the same. Terrible.
A lot of those in Bethune. So we get Parker Posey, who's awesome in this role, right?
So
hazing and she's putting in the pacifiers. And
I remember hating her after this, like, oh, she's such a bitch. But then, like, seeing her in the
You got mail?
No, in the friggin'
what the hell?
What the hell's his name? The Spinal Tap guy. I can't think of his name.
Christopher Guest?
Christopher Guest. She's in those Christopher Guest movies. So good.
Oh, really? She is so Methuen High Girls as like I was talking with Brian and Christine was mentioning certain Methuen High girls that just definitely calls back.
And a lot of them
Peaked.
peaked. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's a but
Unless you're
just
listening,
how
ladies, you did
cruel
great.
they
You're
were.
looking great.
Yes, that's why I didn't mention names. But so and then Jody invites Sabrina, invites her into the crew of the freshmen being hazed. So Banyan and company chasing the kids. They drop off Mitch and Carl, make it in the door.
This is so good.
Banyan catches him. He's about this is so great. The mother comes out with the shotgun. I don't think so. Creep.
Mom. Carl, get in the house.
Get in the house.
And you, get the hell off my property.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, ma'am. I was just escorting your fine young son home from school. There were some ruffians about, and I... Oh, and Mitch, Carl, we'll be seeing each other again. Oh, that's it. I fucking saw that, you little sack of shit. You two are fucking dead. You hear me? You're fucking dead.
And I was just escorting your son home with some ruffians.
He's not even
about,
afraid. Like
said.
he's kind of proud of it. Later, he's proud of it.
Yes. They peek out like smirking. He's so pissed when he sees that. You two are fucking dead.
Well, first he says he escorted them because there were some ruffians about.
Yeah, ruffians about. Exactly. So we see, is it Darcy? I forget. I have her name somewhere. Is Parker Posey saying, "All right, you little freshman bitches."
All right, you little freshman bitches. Eric! That was pathetic. Let's try it again. That means get up, you lazy little bitches. Get up. Get up. You heard her. Eric! That was horrible, you little slut girls, you little freshman sluts. Get up. Get up. 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 Eric!
Now, see, what's fascinating is the way not only the school, but the entire community seems to be supporting this, or at least turn their heads. I mean, they apparently have permission to use the parking lot.
Right.
No parents seem to mind, So they're selling concessions, I mean...
I know.
So the senior boys sitting there just watching it, and then they squirt mustard, ketchup, flour, whipped cream.
Why can't we be friends?
They put leashes on them. Make a girl walk over and propose to Dawson. Do you spit or swallow? He's wildly inappropriate to.
I would definitely marry you.
Yes.
I knew a lot of those kids.
I mean, they're 3 years apart. I guess it's inappropriate. But...
Of course you knew a lot of those kids. Like I said, nobody's really, they're like, do stupid shit, say stupid shit. It's great. So Jody has the freshman girl, Sabrina, proposes to Tony. Well, this is freshman to be, right? So Tony's all embarrassed, tells her to stand up, and introduces himself. I could do without this little romance, I'm like,
Seriously, he's a senior and she's a fucking freshman. Who does that?
He's
3. Who does that?
Well, have you been to high school?
No, wait. Okay. This one girl was in 8th grade, but you were a sophomore. No, I guess it was only that was 1 year difference. But you probably didn't you stay back, so it's pretty much exactly the same.
So they end the hazing. Darla, that's who Parker Posey is. I like when she says to the girl, "What are you looking at? Wipe that face off your head, bitch."
That is so she brought that line to the director because it's like a translation from a play shoot.
German.
Right.
It's in Germany.
And it was funny. Right. The producers were like, "You're asking these young actors what they want to say and what they're trying to. What are you doing?" Input. Yeah, they have input. What is going on? Like there were almost fights between him and the producers. Awesome. Yeah.
Yep. It's great. So, and I like how they're outside a drive-in. It's this Hitchcock's family plot. One of maybe his last movie. So yeah, the guys are just drinking beers out of the back of a truck. So Spivey gives Randall the paper. I guess he picked it up after he drew it. O'Banion pulls up, tells him he got a shotgun pulled on his ass. So the freshman girls get taken through the car wash.
I was surprised they had
Randall
those
and
kind of car washes in '76.
I know. Randall and Slater go to see Pickford. They see his mom packing. They're like a couple little Eddie Haskells. They ask where Kevin is. Oh, he must be going with you on the trip. That was very smooth. So Jody drops off Sabrina, invites her to the party. So this is Pickford and his girlfriend, Mila Jovovich, smoking weed, and they sell some to Randall and Slater. Father comes in. They hide all the bongs. This is great. This character's great, huh? With that outfit.
Because he's also not like, it's not terribly hard ass. You're grounded. You're staying home. It's just like, we're not going. He knows something's up.
Well, he says, "Did you order some kegs of beer?"
Yeah.
And the guy's unloading his truck, and he's like, "I better go out there see what's going on."
Such a great scene.
Not for
Great
Pickford,
scene.
like we said. I don't think Pickford did much after this, but he's
I don't
great.
know
like
him
in the
from
small,
anything but
he was
this
mad. Probably he was mad because his role was small, but he was pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Just his funny facial expressions.
Yeah.
So he goes and talks to the guy, and he's like, "I think you have the wrong address." He makes that face. It's great. And "Oh, my mistake, sir. Thanks, Ben." His father's like, "Well, you gonna have a party? Unpack. We aren't going anywhere." Reride plays
But I do
next.
like that people don't know
Perfect.
that and keep showing up at the house.
Yes. Yeah, right. There's no cell phones. There's not that he'd be calling people even back then. So Tony and Mike get picked up by Cynthia, is the redhead, who's Ribisi's sister,
Yeah,
right?
twin sister and the former wife of Beck, musician Beck.
I didn't know that. Wow. So you see a montage of O'Banion and the guys at the baseball game drinking beers. That's definitely like Methuen High.
Just beers
So-
lined up at the
Yep.
Little League.
It's like
Mitch is-
doing high now. My son's living this dream right now. Son of a
There's
bitch.
no way. There's no way that's like Methuen High now.
Oh, it is, man. It is.
You can't drink out openly like that, or
Oh,
you
I
let
mean,
your
not
son
right now.
And
you
your son
let your
doesn't
son
even go
drive
there.
around with a trunk full of beers full.
No, I don't.
He
Right,
doesn't
I don't
know.
think that
Hey,
could happen.
Where's your son right now?
No, he's with his friends right now at a lacrosse game.
Sure, he is.
You just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But that's a good thing. So Mitch is pitching, who terrible athlete, as you saw.
Oh
in
yeah,
that
they had to bring in a guy to
documentary.
actually throw the ball.
Could not throw a ball. So, they
No,
No,
I saw
he's
clips of
terrible.
it, and that
He
you
never
gotta watch
played
that
baseball.
documentary. I'll send you the link again.
Okay,
Could
send
not
me
throw
like
I'll resend you. So Pickford's dad, you see clips of him, people showing up to the party, and he comes out, and then I just noted this isn't the last time Affleck and Hauser are drinking, watching kids play baseball, as they also do in Good Will Hunting, which is right.
I forgot he was in Good Will Hunting too.
Yeah.
Cole Hauser, he's great.
I wonder if they met on this, because this was right before he did.
A few years,
Good Will
yeah.
Hunting, yeah.
4 years before. 3 or 4 years. So, okay, Mitch strikes out, has one strike away. They do slow motion. They ask him if he can do him a favor and leave a different way. So that's when he slow motion, he strikes out the kid. The catcher looks over at the high schoolers. They all run out the other way. So they cut to some old guy. This is, like you said,
Well,
Texas
Yeah, that's
football.
the
He's
Texas
asking Randall
football
about
thing
it.
of, like, the
Yeah.
whole town.
Team should be really good. So, and then you get no more Mr. Nice Guy.
Well, they,
Also perfect for this scene.
I saw Linkletter also. He really wanted that baseball, the good game in there.
Oh yeah,
because it's like it doesn't drive the plot, but it is so. It's just so like part of Little League. That whole thing growing up, like good game.
I didn't
good
know
game,
that. That's
good
great.
game. Yeah.
Perfect. So then you get the slow motion of them just having way too much
Yeah.
fun, right? Of Banyan's in his glory.
Sexual with them.
That's the only thing that it almost didn't take me out of it, but I was like, is that realistic? Did that kind of shit happen like that? I guess maybe
It might have. I don't know.
in that
Might have.
area.
But yeah, they enjoyed it a little too much. So slow motion. So Randall shows up, says they're going up to the point. Banyan tells him Mitch. Oh, so they're done with Mitch. He's lucky. I'm gonna find you mom.
Just like a champ.
What's he gonna do to his mom?
Yeah.
So Randall they give him he does the fake and he barely hits him. So ask him if he needs a ride. They talk about Banyan. He's like kind of a joke, but it's a good guy to have on your side blocking. Obviously,
That is,
Randall Banyan's an offensive lineman, like Pat Keogh, held back for his football acumen.
Prowess.
So
I thought he had big dreams for him.
So got it the
But
same
you're just
way when
like,
he's.
Dave, are you on Tinder or something swiping left? Because all I see is you touching the
playing
camera. You fucking asshole. It's just all I
He
see is
drops some E.
your hands all over the phone. It's it's slightly distracting. Are
He
you
drops some
winning?
E.
Yeah.
Keep going, guys. You guys are doing a great job.
So unbelievable. So he tells him he got him the same way when he was a freshman. Asked him if he wants him to pick him up later. Put some ice on it. So we get Low Ride is the next song. Shows a montage of them driving around, right?
And I just
We
remember
see-
driving around, no place to go, nothing to do,
Yep.
no
That's-
reason.
We see Clint Bruno. We definitely knew a lot of Clint Brunos. You know who that is?
Yeah, that was
the guy
Dave.
who gets in the fight.
Dave was my Clint Bruno.
Dave was Clint. He did look like
He
Clint
could have
Bruno.
been.
Like driving this was
if you
like
pushed
driving
him
the
far
Hampton
enough.
Strip, right?
Push you far enough.
Just like driving the
I'd
Hampton
lash out
Strip.
at you.
Yeah.
I'd lash out at you.
So
I remember getting in a shoving fight outside Lawrence High School because Jimmy and I didn't want to leave, and we'll find our own way home.
Who got to that?
You were pushing me. You pushed me. You were
I
very
did?
upset. We wanted to stay to watch basketball.
Oh my God, really?
We said leave.
I remember
basketball.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. You're an
So
idiot.
this scene's great.
I
Paco
cried.
Posey and the girls driving. Is this the
Yep.
scene they wrote when she asked her they asked her what the other girl said about her?
Well,
They're like, we won't get mad.
What I read or what I heard in the documentary was they filmed the scene, they did the scene, but that scene didn't make it in the final.
Oh, okay. But I love this. I love the scene now.
Oh yeah.
When they're like, what did she say? We won't get mad. And Simone's like,
You're a slut.
and she
You're a
said
bitch.
she said you're a bitch and you're a slut. She's like, what? Yeah.
But Parker Posey
She
just
freaks
laughed.
the-
She loved. She was.
Yeah, Paco Posey laughs and she freaks out. What? She called me a slut? What? She goes, that bitch. And then she goes, I'm not mad. When they're like, you said you wouldn't get mad. I'm not mad. It's great. Just great
That
delivery.
is so realistic.
That is so,
So-
realistic. Yeah, of course
Yeah.
it is.
Then you see that Mike's telling Tony and Cynthia about his experience at the post office. Maybe I don't want to be a lawyer for, to help people.
I was standing in line at the post office yesterday, and I'm looking around, and everybody's looking really pathetic. You know what I mean? Like, people are, like, got drool just sort of stable, and then, like, this guy's bending over. You could see the crack of it. It was just, like, wife beaters. Anyway, it was... And I realized I just want to do it. You know what I mean? I mean, it sounds good and all, but I just have to confront the fact that I really don't like the people I've been talking about helping out. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I like people, period. I mean, you guys are okay. I'm just trying to be honest about being a misanthrope.
So you're not going to go to law school? What do you want to do then?
I want to dance.
I just like the fact that you don't like. He's like, I like you guys enough, but I don't like
Yeah.
people.
He's funny in this.
Yeah.
So Mitch gets picked up by Randall, and
This guy gets
then
beat up in every movie we
Wooderson.
watch, though.
Well, I mean,
What?
he made it
Okay.
out of this one a little better than the last Adam Goldberg movie.
Ah, poor guy. He's always getting beat up or stabbed in the throat.
and he calls the guy a Nazi in this too. So this
Yeah.
is the second movie where he fights a Nazi.
Ugh, and loses.
Yes,
I
but
can't catch a break.
he can't. He can't. We got to do a third Goldberg movie. So Mitch gets picked up by Randall, and Wooderson's driving. So, like I said, Bubba Wayno I have written down, but
So that's
he bought us beers when we were
Bubba
underage.
Wayno
But
sounds like
Why?
one word.
it's Bubba and then Wayno. I guess I don't know if he's still with us. So this is this is the line. Hey man, you got to join.
Hey, man, he's Carr. You know Wooderson? How's it going, man?
Hey. Pretty good. How's it going with you?
Say, man, you got a joint?
No, not on me, man.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
And
This
he
was
already
his
does
first
all right.
introduction. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I
Was
guess
this first
the Time to Kill comes out later this year.
Okay.
Yeah, he did A Time to
So
Kill.
he
Dude, come on, man.
he becomes a huge superstar, not from
Right.
this movie, even though
Yeah, and
he's
before
great in this movie. Nobody watches.
Yeah, technically, I think he did. Honestly, with Renee Zellweger, it was called Texas Chainsaw Beginnings or something.
Oh, did he do that
It-
before? Yeah, yeah.
I think it was before, and then of course he becomes huge, and they release it on DVD or VHS at the time, and put both of them on the cover. And I don't think they are the major players in the movie even.
That's funny. They did that a lot with.
Yeah.
So he says they're talking about he's driving to Houston in the morning to get Aerosmith tickets. So they get to the Emporium. This scene's great.
That place looks so awesome.
It's right. It's kids of different ages, but you see that Dylan, the Hurricane, is playing. It's a great song. It's kind of perfect.
Here comes the story of the hurricane, the man the authorities came to blame for something that he never done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world.
It suddenly goes to slow motion. I'm like, is this like Woodison, like seeing himself?
Right, like his
walk
kind of
in?
like I
This
have
is like
arrived.
how he sees it's
And
perfect. He sees
Matthew
himself like
McConaughey
that. Walks.
reprises that role in a music video like years later, doing the same kind of
Does he
slow
really?
motion walk.
That's awesome. So Randall introduces them to some sophomores. Pickford's playing foosball. They see this. This is when they see she's painting the statues, painted like Kiss. So and Slater asks Mitch, "Are you cool?"
Like how? Okay. Hey man, wait up. He was just asking if you get high. Yeah, like smoke pot? Yeah. I never have before, but you know.
Randall explains, "Yeah, that means you get high." So I never
That
have.
wasn't a very good actor, though. Like, I'm just gonna call it out. He's pretty
Who?
terrible. That kid,
Who?
Mitch.
Oh,
Yeah, he
Mitch.
was.
No,
he wasn't.
He
But
wasn't
like I
much of an-
said, I think his awkwardness works. So Tony, Mike, Cynthia show up to the party. Dad answers the door. Oh, they show up to Pickford's. I mean, Dad answers the door. You get Dawson, Slater, Pickford driving around. They see the girls. They say there's going to be a beer bus. This, like, if Greg was on this is when we would tell the tale of us driving around in my Corolla wagon with the keg in the back seat, driving around the Hampton Strip. So that would be a mini beer bus.
I don't want you cook my bread. I don't want you make my bed. I don't want your money too. I just want to make love to you.
This is when the girls drive by and Slater says, "Check you later."
Hey, what's going on?
What are you guys up to?
Oh, a little weed, you know. There may be a beer bus later on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool. Guess we'll see you around.
All right, check you later.
Bye.
Hey man, why are you always such a dork, man? What are you talking
Check you
about?
later. Check you later.
Hey man, get off my case.
Oh, man. Chicks don't want to hear that shit.
Well, they don't want to hear anything, man. The girls, man, in our classes, they're all prudes, man. They're worthless little bitches, man.
my God.
It's the girls ahead of us, man. They were wild. Our class is just worthless.
Well,
man.
maybe you've just never gotten past the sniffing butt stage. That's what that sounds like
Hey
to me.
man,
That's what
it's
that sounds like.
it's quality, not quantity. All right, man. And wait till I get to college, man. I can't wait to get to college.
Yeah, when I get to college, I'm gonna do.
Check you later.
Right.
Check you later.
He's like, "Why do you have to say stupid shit like that?" He goes, "Check you later. Check you later."
That's why
And then Slater goes off on the girls. They're all prudes. Wait till I get to college.
that kid going to college. It was always surprising to me.
Right, him saying you I get to college, but
Love hurts. Love strong.
So the junior high dance, Mitch's friends, they grab
what
Hirschfelder.
junior high
This-
dance was like this?
How about Hirschfelder? This poor kid.
Yeah.
Is
There's
hooking
a
up,
private
right?
room that no teacher seems to care about.
Exactly. They make fun of the so they grab Hirschfelder and get him out of there, and they're like, yeah, well, you weren't gonna get anywhere with the chick.
Even though for years I've known that the Nazareth version of Love Hurts.
Oh, Love Hurts. Yeah.
Hearing that, for years before that, still to this day, it makes me think of that scene. This moment.
Does it really? That's funny.
Yep.
That happened to you, Mikey?
I think I heard it a lot before then, so it doesn't.
Yeah, David, we had our dances in the church, basement church. Sometimes the parents would come by and make sure we were far enough apart from each other. They would not give us a private room to, I guess, do some necking.
That was like seriously,
heavy
that was like
petting.
the champagne room.
Right?
So, but listen to it. So Hirschfelder goes from making out with this chick. They pull him. The teacher says he can't come back if you leave. They mock him.
Oh no,
and then we hear some Black Sabbath. We hear Paranoid. Right, it's perfect. So
I'm
kids are
taking
walking
me
high,
forever to get all these songs off of YouTube.
high schoolers pull up. O'Banion catches poor little Hirschfelder. Kid was just hooking up. Now he's getting O'Banion making squeal like a pig references.
Where you running to, boy? Huh? We ain't gonna hurt you. Much. So on that fence there, all right? And just squeal like a pig. You ready to switch it? Oh, yeah. I'm first.
Beating the piss out of it, spanking the piss out of him. The other kids are like, geez. So the girls pull up. Dawson opens the trunk. I don't know whose car is this. That definitely looks familiar. I've seen trunks like that. Just perfect. Loaded with beers.
Like a giant cooler.
Loaded with beers. Siobhan asks for a beer. Hirschfelder's leaving. And Dawson throws him a
Gives
beer.
him a beer, yeah.
Dawson's a nice guy.
Tubbs, catch. Good. Get out of here. What are you wasting a beer on him for?
It's not a big deal. Not a big deal.
Give me a beer.
This fucking sucks, all right? Last fucking day of school, no fucking party, no fucking...
Just waste another fucking... Shut up.
Benny gets mad. Again, Benny's very realistic. Gets mad that he would waste a beer. And then O'Banion breaks one. He's like, you wasting another beer? So we see Wooderson and Bruno are they're debating whose car is better, right?
Yeah.
So Wooderson's is the 70 Chevelle SS 54. Did you know that? And of course, Bruno has a Trans Am. So girls are flipping bottle caps like this. Again, no plot
Just
at all. I love
nothing
it.
to
Just
do,
a night,
just hanging out
of high school. So Mitch sees the other girl, Sabrina, who's getting. They're like, "What are you doing here?" I was going to ask you the same. So she's like, "Oh, I didn't know Jody was your sister." And then Jody's like, "Oh, I told them to take it easy." And it does this. Oh, no wonder.
That's
So,
when I thought his worst acting kind of popped through.
yeah,
It's kind of the
he
awkward.
does have a
kinda
bunch of
like-
awkward
Yeah.
when he has to talk to him. When he had to talk too much, but again, I don't mind.
He was only bad when he had to talk.
When he kind of does the same facial expression a bunch, but so
But him being like intimidated by the older kids works. That kind of thing.
yes. So Mitch's friend's talking about O'Banion flunking senior year just so he can still be a dick. So Dawson arrives, happy to see Wooderson. They do their little handshake, smell their finger handshake. So I work for the city, keep a little change in my pocket. Asked Mitch about the crop of freshmen.
So tell me, man, how's this year's crop of freshman chicks looking?
What, you're gonna end up in jail sometime really soon, I know that. Fact.
No, man. No, man, I tell you.
Yeah.
That's what I love about these high school girls, man. I get older, they stay the same age.
Yes, they do. Go.
Yes, they do.
Best line
They
ever.
take a. It is great. They take a ride with
Dave's
Pickford.
mantra.
First time Mitch smokes, you get some ZZ Top. This is when they're grabbing garbage barrels and knocking down mailboxes.
Oh, that's
So-
Tush. That's the song. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We've never done that. My friends, we never. I talked many times about the mailboxes, but what we did do is whenever we dropped each other off, or I told you that my poor dad, or mostly his neighbors in Homestead Acres, we would run over our neighbors, our friends, whoever we were dropping off, we'd run over their neighbors' garbage barrels and cans. We just drive through them.
Or just drive through the grass.
That too.
Somebody
that
left
too.
a
Mock
sandwich
Ross.
in my mailbox once and got a ton of ants. Anybody want to fess up?
What was it?
That could be worse. They didn't knock it off.
I don't know.
So, and then they get Mitch to throw a
Someone on
bowling
this?
ball throws it out goes through a windshield. They stop to get beers. This is great. Dawson says, "I'm going to steal it." And they're like, "Geez, you sure you want to?"
See, I love
And
this.
he tells Mitch. He tells Mitch he's just pretending he's going to pay for it. So runs out.
He
They
wants
get in
to
the
keep
car, and
the
guy.
rep of being like,
Exactly. That's great. It's so great. That's so realistic too, right?
Yep.
Right. It's just but also I have stories of. Never mind. I won't get into those stories. Of actually stealing beers out of a convenience store. That was closed.
I think
but
the
we won't get
statue
into
of
that.
it's closed. I don't know about that.
Broken into, and no, we wonon't get into that. I mean,
Statue of
it's my
limitations.
friend. My friend's from Canada. So they run out. They get in the car, and the guy pulls the gun. They pissed off about his mailbox. He's great. Tells him to get out of the car. So
The adrenaline that was pumping, I love that.
Yeah, I love that he shoots at him too.
Busted my mailbox, didn't you? Look me in the eye, punk!
I don't know what you're talking about, sir, but I suggest that you...
You busted it, didn't you? Tampering with mailboxes is a felony offense. Now, I done called the police. I think you boys ought to get out of the car.
Just go, man.
Nice and slow.
You're shooting at us! Holy!
So they take off. He shoots at him.
We never got shot at. We've had to run out of a house and drive into the 442 and drive off for our lives because parents were coming home. That we were in a house we weren't supposed to be in, but never got shot at.
A lot of crazy. It seemed like parents were just sleeping, and
Well,
mostly,
I think about my house. It wasn't like crazy stuff happened, or even your house, but we were just free roaming around the house all hours of the night. People would come and go at our house, at your house.
It was true.
My parents never
The
woke
80s were
up
great.
and screamed at us, but
Your parents never woke
I wasn't home yet for that, but so then we get Tony, Mike, and Cynthia driving around board. She mentions that this was funny. This theory that she's like, whose theory was it again? That Ford's head injuries are affecting the economy. So that's a little shout
I like
out.
their little kind of just like
Conversations,
talk
yeah.
of the time. Still, like
Definitely. So back at the Emporium, rock and roll hoochie coo, we get Mike, Tony, and Cynthia. They're talking about they're just talking about having fun. I don't remember exactly what, but this is where I thought they would kind of the audience is Avatar, but that's a few different people. So Mitch goes to buy beers, right?
yes.
Because he asked him to buy beers. This reminds me of I don't know how I bought beers. I honestly looked like Philip. Anthony Michael Hall when I was 17, and my buddy Ralph was like, "You look the oldest out of all of us."
Jesus.
And we went to a place in Lawrence, and I would go all the time and just walk in and buy beers.
And at the same time, this is 18. This when you're talking about it was 21.
Yeah, mine was 21. The guy was drunk. The guy,
I could say
People-
something about I look like an asshole if I did.
So
Dave had a full beard by the end of the night, even if he shaved
yeah,
in
you
the
could have
morning,
easily
so
done.
he could've-
But Mitch could have passed for 18, I guess, right? So Mitch is like, I like how he plays it cool. He's like, I work for the city, just have some money in my pocket because he heard what Wooderson
Right,
says.
yep.
So yeah. So
It's like,
he's
here's a little
leaving
more
his
money.
buddy. This is kind of like Superbad. He's leaving his buddies, see him walking out with beers.
It looks
Must
like
be
he's
"What
got
the
like
hell?"
a superpower. He's like, oh, this? Yeah, I bought
So
it.
they're like, they ask if O'Banion in there, you guys want to get him back? Oh, they're at the Emporium. You want to get him back? So they're playing Slow Ride here too, right? So he gives Spivey his beers, gives him one, he'd keep the change. This is when Wooderson says, party at the Moon Tower. So O'Banion's playing pool. I love this. He's like, you're an embarrassment to this game. Just his little speech, his little rant. Mitch tells the sophomore
He's
to
just a
mention
dick in everything, in every way.
He really is. And like Ben Affleck said, everybody hates this character. Like everybody's gonna hate this character. So Mitch asked the sophomore girl to mention to the other girl walking by O'Banion that Carl's outside. So that's where he's like, "What? That son of a bitch! His mother pulled a shotgun. That bitch." So gets him outside. He's about to hit him.
You wouldn't mind if I went first there, would you? Is that all right? It's kind of a personal thing between me and this little piece of shit here. So, we meet again, huh? Y'all hear this little motherfucker's mom pulled a shotgun on me this afternoon? Fucking bitch. You haven't had any licks yet, have you?
No.
Woo! Another cherry, boys. Get the fuck against the wall. You know something? You have to be the dumbest, freshman, skinny little cocksucker son of a bitch to be out here tonight. You know that? You knew I was gonna find you. I would like to dedicate this first lick to your mother. Fucker. Not yet. Oh, it's getting warmer. What the fuck?
Remember me, you pig?
Through the halls of karma.
Let's go, man. Come on. All right, man. Let's go. Come on. Hurry up, guys. It was beautiful. You should have seen the look on that fuck's face. All right, get in. Come on.
Jesus, Steve, let that little fuck get away! What is the matter with you? It's fucking pitiful! Fuck. Freshman shit-ins. Fuck are you looking at? Huh? Kick your fucking ass right now. Pussy. What are you smiling at? Freshman faggot? Fuck you. Fuck all of you! Fuck you! Damn it!
Seems like Hirschfeld shouldn't have been like he's gonna take a beating again later, right?
He got away with it, right? He was
if he saw
free
him.
and clear.
But yeah, so they dumped it on him from the roof. It's hilarious. He's so pissed. He threatens to kick some other guy's ass.
So another
Gets in
thing
his car, he
from
leaves, and that's him.
a quick thing from the behind the scenes documentary I saw where the producer, grabbed Ben Affleck and said, "You can't say cocksucker. Why did you say cocksucker?" He's like, "What are you talking about? That's what they told me to say." I was like,
Yeah.
You can say fuck. You can't say cocksucker. That's
I saw
worse. He's
that.
like, "What are you like?" The producers get so mad.
Yeah,
'cause
Linklater's like, that's worse than fuck? I thought
Yeah,
fuck was the
what are you
worst.
talking about?
How does he not know that? Tony, Mike, and Cynthia, they're at the drive-in restaurant getting food.
Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this. I swear to God, I'd never come to a Top Notch, and here I am sorting through jalapeno burgers and soggy fries. Here, take them.
All right.
Wooderson likes the redheads, right?
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Cool. You heard about the party being busted, right?
Oh, yeah.
Not to worry. There's a new fiesta in the making as we speak. It's out at the Moon Tower. Full kegs. Everybody's gonna be there. You ought to go.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be there.
Okay.
Say you need a ride?
No, I got my own car. Thanks.
Yeah, well, listen, you ought to ditch the two geeks you're in the car with now and get in with us, but that's all right. We'll worry about that later. I will see you there. All right?
Bye.
I love those redheads, man.
I know you. We had geography together, remember?
Oh, what a dick. It was so creepy.
Why are you smiling?
I thought he was cute.
Oh, that's
You thought he was cute?
disgusting. Do you realize when he graduated, we were like 3 years old?
So good.
Very smooth. You should lose the geeks, but we'll talk about that later.
Right there, he insults. You think he's like perfectly cool, but he's such a dick to the nerdy guy.
He is, but then he's like not like he's still like, oh, we'll talk about that later. So, and then Tony and Mike are like, you like him? He's so creepy. Why are you smiling? And Mike says, he graduated when we were like 3 years old.
That was a great
Oh,
line.
Widdowson. Yeah, it was great. So they still go into the party, of course.
Oh, of course.
So we
They're
get
like, "Oh,
some
yeah."
we get some Kiss playing. You don't need to put this in, Mikey.
Oh, it's there. Boom.
I'm
Come
kidding.
on, 76 Kiss would like rule the world.
Yeah, there was such big Kiss fans in my neighborhood. I remember the '70s when I was
In your
younger
neighborhood,
before we moved.
You mean Dave?
No,
oh,
no,
in the
no,
70s.
before moving to the east side of town. There were just a ton of kids who loved
I
Kiss.
saw-
They
yeah.
they played a concert. They dressed up and
Oh,
played
really?
like Kiss. Yeah. So my brothers and I were like, we're good.
Oh, I mean, I saw
So-
a Kiss poster in Dave's house. That's where I first saw it. I said, "Who are those scary ladies?" That was my first thought.
It must have been Paul's.
I believe
So-
it was.
Was Paul's.
The kegs were flowing. Paul, hi Paul. Paul loves Kiss still, I bet, right?
He probably still does, yeah.
Hey, buddy, you got to join us for the next one.
I'd
So you get the kegs flowing in the woods. This is obviously, it's a good time. So the shotgunning beers. Mike and his crew walks in. He says, someone's smoking reefer.
Man, someone's smoking some reefer.
Hey, man. Hey, slow down. Yeah, what's up? Hey, how's it going? What'd you just say? When? Just now, man, when you walked past. What'd you say? About what? You said someone's toking some reefer.
No, I said something about smelling some pot. Yeah, it's just an observation.
Oh, an observation, huh? Well, who the hell are you, man? Isaac fucking Newton? Well, guess what, genies? I'm the one smoking marijuana, motherfucker. You got a problem with that?
No, of course not.
Well, why'd you say that, Chief? Come on, man, don't let your mouth write a check your butt can't cash. So I'm blazing with my friends, so I'm a fucking pothead, man. What's it to you, huh? Huh? What's the matter, pussy? Out of observations? Why don't you observe while I punch your teeth down your fucking throat? Come on, dude!
Relax. He's cool, man. Relax.
Hey, I'll be watching you, Newton. I only came here to do two things, man. Kick some ass and drink some beer. Looks like we're almost out of beer.
You okay, man?
Yeah.
It's like, you realize this. This is when Bruno
And this
stops
guy
him.
is a classic
What did
guy
you
who
say?
gets freaked out and insulted over a nothing.
He kind of just is looking to get insulted again. Very Methuen High person. He says, "Who the hell are you, Isaac fucking Newton?" He thinks he's funny.
One of those
He
guys
starts
that-
with him.
Yeah. He's
Immediately
one of those
takes his
guys
shirt
that will,
off.
That will bump into you just so you
Yeah.
say, "What the hell?" Just so you can start a fight.
Yep.
Exactly. So Randall breaks it up. He's cool. I'll be watching you. This is the line where he says, "I came to do two things: drink some beer and kick some ass." And I'm almost out of beer. Quite a hoot, that guy. So Mike's getting mad. It was after. I'm sorry. First they're climbing up the moon tower. Slate is trying to freak out Mitch, telling him the freshman who fell down.
Why's it called the Moon Tower anyway? I guess they just decided to put it up out here whenever they were building the power plant. Actually, it's a good idea. I mean, you got a full moon out here every day of the year, you know?
Yeah, but nothing's ever been repaired, so this whole place can fall down at any time. So you better watch your step, Junior.
Whoa! This place used to be off limits, man, because some drunk freshman fell off. He went right down the middle, smacking his head on every beam, man. I hear it doesn't hurt after the first couple, though. Autopsy said he had one beer, man. How many did you have? 4. You're dead, man. You're so dead. Look at the bloodstains right there.
Shut up.
Oh, you're dead. You're dead.
So Mike's getting himself worked up. I'm gonna start with him. Stupid. He calls him a stupid '50s greaser. Shout out to American Graffiti. No. So it's great that he says most fights in places like this get broken up.
Right. He's like just statistically
My buddy,
thinking.
my
okay,
buddy Jimmy mentioned that. He thinks that's a great part. He's like, statistically, yeah, it's gonna get broken up right away. So
if I do it, I can get a lick in and boom, get out safe.
yeah, it's not exactly how he pictured how it would go. So they're looking down from the moon tower later. Imagine how many people are fucking. So Sabrina talks to Tony.
That's when they say, "Look at
Great,
this
great,
town;
great.
it's so dead." Just
Yeah.
the town is nothing.
So we see Dawson giving Randall shit for smelling like pot while he's like mocking the coach. And this is Benny's gets all serious. You know, those kids don't care if we win or lose. You know, you gotta. This is big. We could be really good.
That's where I got the Friday Night
And-
Lights vibe. It's like it
You know,
doesn't
I've
just
never
affect
seen
you; it
Friday
affects
Night.
all of us.
I didn't. I still have to watch that show.
So good, so good.
This is when Darla is doing a funnel. Girl after my own heart. I sent you that. I
That's
sent you
with
that
Renee
video
Zellweger
from a few
holding
years
the-
ago. Oh, right.
Funnel. Yep.
Very poor funnel. She butchers it. So Mitch is having a good time. He sees the sophomore girl.
Quick question: is Dave frozen or dead, or he just hasn't moved? Oh my god, you look so frozen. And then I was
Really?
like, I don't know if you just
I
like
can't even see him.
died, and then just like imagine you just died, and all of a sudden you just keel over.
So Benny's getting all pissed. He says how important football is, blah blah blah. And this is when Dollar and what's her name, Simone falls. Is it Simone that falls?
I think I know someone falls, and then someone falls on purpose.
Yeah, they're laughing. Yeah, they're laughing about it. It's good stuff. So Mila is singing something, and then they're debating on what it means. It's like, you know, talking about aliens, and Slater goes on about George Washington being in a cult.
Watch them fly. Away.
You guys know what that song's about? It's about aliens. We're the aliens, man. We're the savages. We're the savages.
Wait, man, that song's about that? Yeah, man, that song's about that, man.
About aliens?
Yeah, man, you didn't know that? This country is founded. It was founded by people who were into aliens, man. George Washington, man, he was in a cult. And the cult was into aliens, man. You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, man, they were way into that type of stuff, man.
And
Dude, how many
Yeah.
times did you have like that with your friends, just sitting there as your cock, just
yeah, talking about deep stuff like that.
What you think is deep, right? Like,
So Cynthia has a great line, which is very significant.
It's like the every other decade theory, you know? The 50s were boring, the 60s rocked, the 70s, oh my God, they obviously suck, right? Come on. Maybe the 80s will be radical, you know? I figure we'll be in our 20s and, hey, it can't get any worse.
It's everybody, like Linklater says, everybody's own time they think is terrible,
Right.
Even though they have such nostalgia for it. So Mike is psyching himself out again, and Jody takes Randall out in the woods to hook up. Randall's like, yeah, whatever.
He was hot in her day too, that one.
but even
Yeah, I
like,
don't know what.
even though she did that, it's like, don't you have a girlfriend?
Yes, yes,
Like,
she
wait,
was.
Didn't you bring
she
him
was
out
like,
there?
Exactly. So Slade is talking about George Washington being a big pothead, had fields of it. Behind every good man is a good woman. Martha had a big bowl when he came back. So he
Look at
goes,
the
he
money,
keeps going
it's
on and on
green.
about it. Yeah. This is when Jody stops Randall, reminding him, "Don't you have a girlfriend?" You know, he's like, "What girlfriend?"
You got a little too
So-
handsy.
Then the guys see Mitch talking to the sophomore. They're giving him shit. You know, Spivey asks him if he'll be fucking that later. How do you know I already haven't?
Right, he's starting to get a little machismo.
So Dalla tries to give Sabrina an air raid. She won't do it. Walks away drunk. She's probably gonna forget that, right? So Mike finally decides to fight Bruno. He pours the beard over his head. He gets a good punch in. He actually
gets
knocks
one
him
in.
down.
He did it. I can't believe it.
Fucking knew I should have kicked your ass. Come on, come on.
Well, I mean,
Bruno.
A little bit of a cheap shot, but
Oh, it was. I mean,
he did what he had to do. He was just hoping that fight was gonna end faster than it
yes.
did.
If people jumped in before, as Bruno was getting to him, he would have been all
instead,
set.
the guys
He beats
jumped
the
up
shit out of him.
so happy. They're like, yeah, fight. Like,
Yes.
they're ready to
And
just
Benny was
get in
pushing
there.
people back. So
Yeah.
he beats the shit out of him. So Randall and Wooderson finally they make it. They break him up, and this is break it up. And this is when he calls the kid a Nazi. Second movie, he fights a Nazi, and it cuts into he's kind of crying or going hysterical. And then
Oh,
we get
felt bad.
Tuesday's Gone, one of my favorite songs of all
Right.
time.
Train roll on.
Yeah.
Brian says it's one of the best uses of music. I mean, it's kind of obvious, not obvious, but it's just perfect because it's
Yep.
like the things are ending, and
Yeah.
I love that song. It's classic. It reminds me of the Ford brothers, Danny
Well, it's more like the
Ford,
day
Timmy
is
Ford playing. What's
the
that?
day is ending for. It's just the day is ending for them because they have a whole summer ahead of them. And
Yeah,
they
no,
know.
I know, but it's still, it's perfect, and they do the great overhead shot. It's
Yeah.
great. The keg, you see the keg going dry, and
Yeah.
Jody sees Mitch, asks him what time he's supposed to be home. She's bullshit. He's able to stay out. So Woodison gets Cynthia's number, and Randall calls Mike Ali, and they see Woodison. Slater wants to smoke a bone on the 50-yard line, which Randall is all for. So Dawson and Randall, they're with the two girls. Who are they with? Jody and
Yeah.
Simone.
Did we pass, or is this the moment when they
Obviously
pile
Woodson.
into Wooderson's car?
Well, they go to the 50-yard line first.
But
They're in his car at the end too.
when they there's one part, the part where he says, "Watch the leather."
Oh
goes-
yeah.
he
I'm
goes-
sorry, I
he
missed
goes,
that. It's a classic
"Ah,"
line.
Or whatever that. He's like, "Ha ha ha!" That little
Yeah.
little squeaky little.
Oh yeah,
laugh.
he does. Oh, it's perfect. Yeah, you gotta get that clip. He like laughs at. That is perfect. Watch the leather. I wonder if he had lived most of it, right?
Right. I think yeah.
So Dawson and Randall are acting like the coaches. They're mocking doing like a parody. And then Randall throws the keys to Woodison.
Hit me on a slant. Give me keys to the inside.
Down. Marijuana on one. Reefer on two.
Mike's looking at his cuts and his bruise on his face. He's like, nobody. And Cynthia says nobody was going to remember who won in a few years. You
years.
Yeah. Tony and Sabrina awkwardly hook up, but we don't need to rehash
Good
go
for
over
him.
that.
Good for him.
So yeah, good for Tony. Exactly. So Woodison comes back reading the form. He's like,
Not to indulge in any alcohol, drugs, sex after 12, or any other illegal activity.
Right, not my shadow.
Slater, baby. Found that in your glove compartment, man.
And you know you're the third person who's given me this today? God.
But what do you reckon you're gonna do?
So I don't know, man. I'll probably end up signing it. I just don't want to give in so easy.
Man, it's the same bullshit they tried to pull in my day. You know, if it ain't that piece of paper, some other choice they're gonna try and make for you. You gotta do what Randall Pink Floyd wants to do, man. And let me tell you this, the older you do get, the more rules are gonna try to get you to follow. You just gotta keep living, man. Livin.
so Randall, you think Randall signs? Well, no, he's not going to sign this. I think he plays football. I don't know.
Oh, yeah,
You?
I think so.
It seems like he's not, but
Well, I just thinking of Texas. If he's the quarterback, the town would pressure him to be like, just let him play.
yeah. The coach,
The
no matter what
boosters and all
happened,
that shit,
the
yeah.
coaches, even though he ends up. So wait. So first, I'm sorry, I'm cutting ahead. So Randall says he'll probably sign it. Woodison gives a little speech about you can't follow the man's rules. It's only going to get worse. You got to
Yep.
keep on LIVI and living. The girls crack up. So this is when Randall says the great line. You know, all I know is if I start referring to these years as the best of my life, I'll probably end up killing myself. I think that was like in the trailer. So Dawson gives his little speech.
Well, all I'm saying is I just want to look back and say that I did it the best I could while I was stuck in this place. Had as much fun as I could when I was stuck in this place. Played as hard as I could when I was stuck in this place. Dogged as many chicks as I could when I was stuck in this place.
And then the flashlights come on. You see Woodison tells Slater to get rid of the weed. You see him dropping it on the grass. So cops call him over. This cop's a dick. Knows Woodison.
But I love him.
He calls the
Woodison.
coach. Yeah.
I tell you, it is the high school. You call the coach, right? That is
Seriously. So
Back then they did.
Yeah.
Don't worry. We're almost with the finish line, Dave.
I'm
But
just
yeah.
glad he's not lying down. He's not.
So
that massage
Mitch is
chair is
hooking up
working.
with the
Look how
chick.
chill he is.
Yeah. Okay. Just like he's like Costanza sitting there with the massage chair.
See the curtains hanging in the window in the evening on a Friday night.
Mitch is still hooking up with the girl as the sun comes up. Not a bad little first night out partying with the high schoolers for Mitch, right? So the coach shows up, calls over Randall and Dawson, says to Randall, "You been out with those losers?" Randall gets pissed, you don't even know them.
So what the hell's going on? Why am I getting wake-up calls from the cops?
Oh, there was nothing. They just left just now. False alarm, Coach.
Come here, Randy. Come here. You been out with those losers all night?
Hey, Coach Conrad. Remember me? Second period, gym class?
That's the kind of people I was telling you about. Trouble like this means nothing to that bunch of clowns. You're the one with something to lose.
Now, Coach, you don't even know them.
Randy.
How can you even pretend to talk that way, huh?
Okay, Randy. I shouldn't do this, but I'm willing to wipe the slate clean and forget about all of this. I want you to finally get your priorities straightened out, quit hanging out with that bunch of hoodlums, and sign your commitment to your team. Have you done that yet?
I'm still thinking about it.
No one's paying you to think about it. Just do it, son.
Coach, I gotta get going. Me and my loser friends, we gotta go get Aerosmith tickets. Top priority of the summer. Oh, Coach, I forgot. I might play ball, but I will never sign that.
I may play football, but I'll never sign the paper. He throws it at him. So Woodison's all happy. L-I-V-I-N. So Dawson's like, oh shit, that's that. So, but like I said, I think
Go
Randall does end up.
I think Dawson was.
Yeah.
He he supported him. I love that friend. I like that type of guy.
Right. He was like, okay, if that's the way it's gonna be, it's gonna be.
Yeah, exactly. He's not like Benny. So Mitch gets home. Mother greets him, tells him he get a get out of jail free card. Who's this older girl who gave you a ride? So he puts on the headphones and you get Slow Ride. Pretty
Love
great
that.
song to end it too, right? The way
Pretty
they.
great.
So, and you see Woodison, Randall Slater, and Simone. I think is driving. They're smoking. They smoke a lot of weed, huh? Driving, and you get this, and then I love a good cast in order of appearance when you see the.
Especially with all these
See
young
when it
actors
shows them
and
all.
actresses,
Exactly. I love when they do the cast like that. You see O'Banion. It's just a great movie. Great about great nostalgic movie. Perfect.
Yeah. It was just nostalgic of watching it 30 years ago, which is crazy that it's been 30 years.
It really is. But it's just perfectly executed about nothing but.
I think my cousin who graduated in the 70s was like our hero growing up. He is now
Billy and Bobby.
Yeah, he's now 60, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Like that generation, they, you know what? I think about that generation, and they had a great fucking life. They did what they wanted. It was easier time.
Simpler. Yep.
No cell phones. No fucking just.
I mean, we had that.
Yeah.
We certainly did.
Yeah.
You're describing. We had basically almost the same
Right,
experience.
the 70s and
with
the
worse
90s weren't
clothes.
that different. Yeah.
Well, the
With
70s and the
CDs.
80s for me.
Yeah.
So, great stuff. Excellent.
Yep.
Salute.
Wonderful.
Salute.
Now,
Mikey. What's
After
next?
doing such a fun movie like this, we thought we'd kind of shift over and do something a little more something with a little more weight to it, a little more
Highbrow.
dramatic, a little more highbrow, something just something that, it's like a thinking man's movie, a thinking man. or
Schindler's
thinking
List
woman's
you talking
movie.
about, Mikey?
It's not quite, but there's just as much action and explosions.
Wait, The English Patient?
Oh my God! Do not say that.
Not quite. There's just as much plane crashes and emotion and dramatic and Oscar nominations.
Is it Ordinary People?
It is. There's nothing ordinary about this movie. We are going to be shooting ahead from 1993, but back to 2010 to a movie that David and I saw in the theater, a little art independent film called MacGruber.
Yes, sir.
Yes, MacGruber. If we are testing the limits of quote unquote fine movies, we're doing it with an excellent film. Just a ridiculous movie that we're just gonna laugh our ass off. But that is next time. Thank you everybody for listening. This time around, you can find us on Twitter at @fine_movies and on Instagram at Fine Movies, Fine Spirits. Christopher, any parting words?
I think you pretty much said it all, Mikey.
That's my job.
Catch us on Twitter, Instagram.
Yep, that is literally what I just said. So, David, any parting words from you?
I'm sorry, I'm pulling a Dave at the end.
That's all right. That's all right. You're good. All right, David.
I'm good.
Say goodbye then, David.
Bye. Goodbye.
Bye.
We talk about great movies while drinking. We talk about great movies while drinking. Yeah, we talk about great movies while drinking. And we feel fine.
You did a brunch at your house too?
No, we went to this place in Drake It. So the whole family,
nice.
You get like a table, and it's nice. There's someone playing the piano. It's kind of like it's almost like in a hall that a wedding would be in.
Isn't there a room for you and your parents to go afterwards too for like sex?
The best, David. The best.
Save it for the pod.
I'm best at incest.
Fans not experts.